Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of tennis. Now, last episode we talked about who is hot for the Australian Open. Okay, we talked about who's running hot. Now, I said that I wanted some suggestions about who's cold, but you know what, I went ahead and decided myself. It was hard to find any players really just completely out of form, like just ridiculously out of form, but I did think of one that just absolutely sprang to mind. We're going to call this video The Curious Case of Eugenie Bouchard. I don't know what's going on with her, honestly. She was once ranked number 5 in 2014. She was a 2014 Wimbledon finalist, made the semi-finals at the French Open and the Australian Open that year. Now, this girl should really always be in the top 5. I mean, the talent she has, the work ethic she used to have was phenomenal. And, I mean, she was beating girls. I mean, she was the young girl on the scene, just beating everyone. Everyone was talking about her. And now she's currently ranked in the 80s. She's winless in 2018. Horrible start. I don't know if you guys watched her in the Hopman Cup. Just not looking that good, honestly. Just not even looking that competitive. And, you know, she also got, aside from getting ripped in the Hopman Cup in all her matches, she played Hobart. She had to get a wild card into the Hobart event. And also lost in straight sets in the first round. And, you know, I mean, with these kinds of players, I don't know what happens. I mean, I think it's a lack of form, you know. She started the 2015 season with a little lack of form. And I think that, look, I can understand that. That can happen, you know. You have a great year. You end the year on a high note. You're playing fantastic tennis. You want to start in the same fashion. But the expectations are obviously a lot higher on you because of the fantastic form you had the year before. In saying that, yeah, it's very easy to slip out when you play 1 or 2 bad matches, as we talked about a couple of videos ago. The confidence can move away there, and then suddenly you find yourself not quite playing your best tennis, but still trying to beat top players. Yeah, and if that confidence drops from you not playing your best tennis, then, you know, your focus can waver. I think in her case, she has a lot of distractions. Her focus is wavered. I mean, you look at her on Instagram, I mean, it's all well and good when you're winning, to be honest. If you're winning matches, whatever, go out and do whatever you want, post on social media, be the man or the woman, whatever. But when you're not playing good tennis and you're posting Instagram stories when you're supposed to be preparing for matches, and you're posting stories about how you've got a cricket bat and you're playing in the backyard, just you know, mucking around, and you're posting videos of your hotel room because you have to pack, you're wondering if you can pack your bags in half an hour, like, what's that about? Why don't you just sit down, focus, and maybe think and reflect on what you need to do for the next match? Because you're slipping. You were once the world number 4, now you're down to number 81. And this stuff really annoys me. It really annoys me. You know why? Because players work hard. Okay, there are players that are out there. You look at, and that's the difference actually. That's the difference between, I hate to say it, that's the difference between players from, let's say, westernized countries compared to the players from the Eastern Bloc. Look at how many players, especially in the women's game, that there are from countries like Russia, you know, Ukraine, Central Europe as well. Quite a few Romanians in the top 50 for the women's game. But I mean, they are absolute nuts. Like the way they train, and I've seen it, like they are nuts. Like this is their life. Like they need to make it in tennis to give them and their families a better life. But, you know, in Bouchard's case, whatever, like she comes from quite a privileged upbringing, and that's not to say, I mean, Federer came from quite a good family too, and look what he's achieved. So it's actually a mindset more than anything else. But, you know, when you're mucking around and you know, making all the headlines for reasons other than your tennis, yeah, you know, you can slip. And now she's unable to string wins together. And she's honestly, like I said, she's making more making more headlines on social media than for her actual tennis playing ability. And the path that she's going down, I hate to say it, I'd compare her to Anna Kournikova, who actually was Russian for that matter, but actually ended up being pretty much American. It was living in the US and playing out of there for a long time. But, you know, it gets to that, and that's the thing. I think with these players as well, when you get the fame and you get, you know, well noticed, you start maybe realizing that you can make money in different ways, right? You start getting more sponsorships and endorsements because you've got the face that can sell the brand. So, I mean, I try and look at the other side of the coin, and I wonder, you know, can you really blame her? I mean, she's probably making just as much money as she would at right now at number 80 in the world with all her sponsorships and endorsements than she could make, winning prize money, in the top 5. So then again, I mean, it's just a question of whether you really want it or not. And I mean, to be honest, it's something that you see quite often, actually, in the sport. We're seeing it more often than before. I feel that there's a lot of young players coming up, and then look, I think that whenever you start tennis and you're chasing that dream to become the world #1, that's really honest. I think that's an honest dream. I think that's honestly what all the kids want to do. But then when you start getting sort of close to that point, but you're also earning good money, then you start realizing, hey, maybe I don't have to work my ass off that much. I don't necessarily have to be world #1 to have a chilled life. I can sort of just hang out in the top 30 or whatever, and just or top 50 even, and just have a not bad life, and just enjoy life off the tour. But that's the difference between the top players and those that never quite make it. So, look, hoping she can turn it around. Let's keep an eye on her. But right now, my prediction for her in the Australian Open, I don't think she makes it past the second round. She'd be lucky to win the first round. I haven't even looked at who she's playing, but based on her current form, yeah, I wouldn't put her past the second round. I hope she can surprise us. I'd love to see her deep into the second week of the tournament, but we all know that's probably not going to happen. Guys, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, and let me know if you got some other cases that you can think of, other players that are similar. I'm sure there's plenty of other cases that could spring to mind, so happy to hear all suggestions. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.